In this video, I will talk about having a creepy crawler as a pet, the tarantula. Did you hear about the tarantula who went to a dance party? He was a real jitterbug. Now that's a hairy start to our journey of exploring the fascinating world of pet tarantulas. With their 8-legged elegance and their unique lifestyle, these creatures have been intriguing humans for ages. Today we're diving into the web of insights, from their lifespan to their diet, origins, and the pros and cons of bringing one into your home. So, are you ready to step into the 8-legged world of tarantulas? Hold on to your hats, folks. You know, tarantulas are like fine wines, they get better with age. Well, not taste-wise, of course. Now, if you're wondering how long these 8-legged wonders live, sit tight because you're in for quite a surprise. Tarantulas, like the great tortoises of the Galapagos or the majestic elephants of Africa, are part of the longevity club in the animal kingdom. Yes, you heard it right. These fuzzy fellas aren't just your average pet that's around for a few years. Tarantulas are in it for the long haul, and when I say long, I mean it. Female tarantulas, the divas of the spider world, can live up to 25 to 30 years. Can you believe that? That's longer than some marriages last. Now the males, on the other hand, are a different story. They usually clock out after about 5 to 7 years, which in human terms is roughly the equivalent of a teenager. So if you're looking for a pet that'll be around for a significant part of your life, a tarantula is a pretty solid choice. They're like those childhood friends who stick around no matter what, except they have 8 legs and are covered in hair. But hey, nobody's perfect, right? Now let's take a moment to appreciate this. Imagine a pet that can be there through your high school graduation, your first job, even your midlife crisis. It's like having a living, breathing time capsule right in your living room. And the best part? No walks in the rain, no chewing up your favorite shoes, and definitely no midnight serenades like with a cat in heat. But remember, with great age comes great responsibility. Owning a tarantula is not just a pet-owning experience, it's a commitment. It's like adopting a hairy, 8-legged child that needs your care and attention for the next few decades. So if you're looking for a long-term commitment, a tarantula might just be your perfect match. Ever wondered what's on a tarantula's menu? Spoiler alert, it's not takeout or your leftovers. Now you might be thinking that tarantulas are just like us, enjoying a nice cheeseburger or pizza slice. Well folks, the truth is a bit more, shall we say, wriggly. You see, your pet tarantula isn't interested in the latest gourmet trends. No, it's not clamoring for avocado toast or sushi rolls. Instead, it's all about the insects. Crickets, mealworms, roaches, you name it. If it buzzes, crawls, or squirms, it's fair game. And here's a fun fact for you. Did you know that tarantulas actually liquefy their food before eating it? They inject their prey with venom that breaks down the insides, then they suck it up like a spider milkshake. A bit gross, yes, but it's efficient. Now you might think that feeding your tarantula might be a grisly affair, but in reality it's quite straightforward. Just drop a cricket or a mealworm in the terrarium every week or so, and your tarantula is good to go. No need for complicated meal prep or grocery shopping. In fact, it's a lot easier than feeding a dog or a cat. No more worrying about food allergies or expensive pet food. And remember, tarantulas are nocturnal creatures. They prefer to hunt and eat at night. So while you're enjoying your late-night snack in front of the TV, your 8-legged friend could be having its own feast in the dark. So, in the grand scheme of things, feeding a tarantula isn't as daunting as it sounds. It's just a matter of understanding their dietary needs and preferences. After all, they're not so different from us. We all need to eat to survive, right? So, no need to worry about sharing your pizza with your tarantula. They prefer their food a bit squirmier. Tarantulas didn't just pop up in your local pet store, they've got quite the travel history. Now, before you start imagining tarantulas with tiny suitcases and sun hats, let's get down to the nitty-gritty of their origins. Tarantulas are in fact globe-trotting spiders with roots that span across continents. They're like the jet-setters of the arachnid world, only without the jets, or the setting. You see, tarantulas are part of the Theraphossidae family, which boasts around 900 species. Yes, you heard that right, 900. It's like a giant, hairy, 8-legged family reunion. These species are spread across the tropical, subtropical, and arid regions of the world. That's right, these critters are found from the Amazon rainforest to the deserts of the Middle East, and even in your Aunt Sally's backyard in Arizona. The name tarantula itself hails from the Italian town of Taranto. It was originally used for a different type of spider, but when explorers started finding large hairy spiders in the New World, they just slapped the same label on them. Talk about an identity crisis. Each tarantula species has adapted to its unique environment. For instance, the Goliath bird eater from South America is the heavyweight champion of spiders, while the pink-foot Goliath is a tree-dwelling, high-climbing daredevil. There's the Indian ornamental tarantula that's all about the glitz and glam, with its vibrant colors, and the desert blonde tarantula that prefers to keep things low-key with its subtle hues. So, you see, owning a tarantula isn't just about having a cool, 8-legged pet. It's about embracing diversity, and learning about the different habitats these amazing creatures come from. It's like having a little piece of the Amazon, or the deserts of the Middle East, or even the forests of India, right in the comfort of your own home. So, owning a tarantula is like having a little piece of another continent right in your living room. Now, owning a tarantula isn't all sunshine and rainbows. There's no pot of gold at the end of this rainbow, just a big hairy spider. But before you scurry off in the opposite direction, let me tell you, having a tarantula as a pet can be quite a rewarding experience if you're the right kind of person. So let's talk pros and cons, shall we? On the pro side, tarantulas are low maintenance. They don't require daily walks or belly rubs. In fact, they'd probably prefer if you didn't try to rub their belly at all. They're also quiet, so no midnight serenades or early morning wake-up calls. Plus, they're fascinating creatures that provide a unique conversation starter at parties. Now, for the cons. And yes, there are a few. Tarantulas are solitary creatures, so if you're looking for a cuddle buddy, you might be barking up the wrong tree, or web, in this case. They also have a defense mechanism that involves flicking tiny, irritating hairs at potential threats, which unfortunately could include you. If you've ever been to the hairdresser and found yourself still picking out hairs days later, imagine that. But itchier. There's also the fact that some tarantulas can live up to 25 years, which is a long-term commitment. If you were to get a tarantula in your early 20s, it could still be with you when you're pushing 50. That's longer than some marriages. And finally, if you're squeamish about feeding live insects to your pet, a tarantula might not be the best choice for you. Unless, of course, you've always wanted to run your own mini nature documentary in your living room. So, if you don't mind the occasional hairspray attack and the lack of cuddles, a tarantula could be your new best friend. Just remember, it's not about the size of the pet in the fight, it's about the size of the fight in the pet. And trust me, these 8-legged wonders have plenty of fight in them. Well, that's the long and short of owning a tarantula, folks. We've spun quite the web of knowledge today, haven't we? Let's take a moment to recap. We've learned that tarantulas are not just your average run-of-the-mill house spiders. With lifespans stretching up to 25 years, these 8-legged wonders are in it for the long haul. A commitment not for the faint-hearted or those with arachnophobia. We've also learned that they're not picky eaters. From insects to small rodents, these critters are not shy about tucking into a hearty meal. Remember though, no table manners required in the tarantula world. We've traced the origins of our furry friends back to the tropical, subtropical, and arid regions. So, while they might not be booking flights for beach vacations, they do appreciate a bit of heat and humidity. And of course, we've weighed the pros and cons of owning a tarantula. From the thrill of having a low-maintenance, quiet pet that won't chew your favorite shoes to the potential downsides of explaining to your squeamish friends why you have a giant spider for a pet. So, are you ready to join the ranks of tarantula owners? Or will you stick to watching them from the other side of the glass? Either way, remember, they're more scared of you than you are of them. Probably. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. Have a great day.